Hello.
Hey, shalom and blessings, Brother Gaja, Elder Ricard, and also to the guest, Bill. Let's have a comment and a question real quick. I have your book, Masonry Beyond the Light.
Oh, yes.
And I've also seen some of your videos with Secret Beginnings of America. And my comment is, with the new Atlantis and the lost continent of Atlantis, from the occult side, we've been looking at it on the past few weeks on the Friday night radio show as far as how the occult or the Illuminati look at America as the lost city of Atlantis or the lost continent of Atlantis. We've been tying that into prophecy where Revelation speaks of Mystery Babylon, and also in the Old Testament where it speaks of the daughter of Babylon. And basically just bringing the two together to show the connection. So if you could just expound on the Illuminati and the occult's agenda for America and their philosophy with the lost of it being the lost continent of Atlantis or the new Atlantis.
Okay, what was your question exactly? I wasn't quite following your line of thought.
Okay, the new Atlantis concept, the lost continent of Atlantis, as far as referring that to America with the documentary that you're on, if you could just expound
sure,
for our listeners on the occult's agenda for America.
Okay. Well, that's why America, from the very beginning, America was like Esau and Jacob in the mother's womb. I mean, there were occultists and Freemasons on one side trying to bring in, what Francis Bacon called the New Atlantis, and at the other side there were, of course, people like the Pilgrims, the Puritans, and Roger Williams and people like that were trying to bring in a biblical basis of human government based on the Bible. And so this struggle has been going on in our country for over 200 years, and unfortunately, the bad guys are now winning.
Right. And just the end of that question is, what is the end game of their agenda towards America, and do you see that coming to pass?
Well, I mean, I think that it's very close. They basically want to bring America into a place of chaos, and because the whole Illuminati plan is what Adam Weishaupt called the Law of Fives, and they're moving us through right now. We're stuck in the area of bureaucracy, which is step 4, and step 5 is chaos, where everything kind of collapses. And that's what they want to do, because they believe out of that, like a phoenix, will rise the New World Order. But, of course, they're totally enemies of heaven. And, so they're in opposition to anything that's Bible-based. And, we don't know, of course, what the Almighty is going to be doing from his perspective. But, we know that he is ultimately going to judge all this wickedness, and we just don't know what his timetable is.
Right, and I would tie in where you said the phoenix, America being burnt and rising like the phoenix out of the ashes, to where Revelations 18 says that Babylon shall be burnt with fire. But that was it I had to say. Thanks for coming on the show.
Good question.
Shalom, blessings to y'all. Brother Ricard and Elder Ricard.
Blessings, brother.
Yes, Brother Marmon, blessings to you. Okay, let's take another caller in. We have Sister Jenny with a question.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, shalom, brothers. Hi, can y'all hear me?
Yes, clearly. Go ahead.
Yes.
Shalom, brothers. I wanted to ask the guests, what plans do they have for our children and in the school systems, if you would know that?
Well, I mean, I don't know specifics, but because, of course, I've been out of this since the 80s. But, I mean, basically they want our children to be as dumb as possible. That's why they've been feeding our kids junk food for the last generation. That's why they give us fluoridated water and vaccines and everything else, high fructose corn syrup, you name it. And of course, the public school system, at least in America, has been made into a travesty of education. So their plans are to basically have our children be functionally, if not literally, illiterate, because if you're illiterate, you can't read the scriptures. And they want them to be led by a teaching. A lot of teachers are very liberal. In America, at least, the NEA, the National Education Association, is very liberal. I used to remember the NEA, but I repented of it because I used to be a teacher. And, so that's what they want to do, because they know that if a child is intelligent and can think critically and can read, they're going to be a danger to the New World Order. So that's why so many kids nowadays, they've got them busy on video games or listening to their iPods or iPhones or whatever and texting each other and in sort of a pidgin English. And it's not good. It's not good because our young people are our most precious resource.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. I thank you for the show also. Y'all good night. Shalom, brothers.
Shalom, sister. Bless you.
Shalom. Yeah. All right. You have Brother Lexwell with a comment.
Oh, hi. Shalom, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Bless you. Shalom.
Good.
Great. Actually, I actually had questions. I'm sorry, I didn't have comment. How you doing, Bill?
Very good.
Hey, I watched your interview on the Alex Jones.
Yeah.
A Cult of Halloween. I was enthralled when I heard the Mormon information that came out on that show, and I was really shocked because I would have never assumed anything like that, but to hear it, I don't want to say profound because I don't want to. Usually when people use the word profound, they're saying it as I don't believe what the person's saying. I would actually like it if you shared that information on with these gentlemen, because it was so revealing.
Well, first of all, I'm not sure what information you're referring to because it's been a few weeks, and I have tons of information on Mormonism. But, I doubt if I have time to get into it. If you want to do another, program or something, we can certainly do that. But, I kind of maybe you weren't listening then, but I talked earlier on about how the Mormon church is very occultic, and especially the temple service is very occultic with blood oaths and rituals and creepy underwear and all sorts of stuff. So it's
I did hear that. The idea of the Mormon king or them awaiting their
well, of course now Romney lost the election, so they're kind of back to square one on that one. But at least they got somebody in the list this time.
Yeah. It was. I wasn't aware of any Mormon priesthood. That was quite shocking.
Oh yeah, they have a 6-tier hierarchy of priesthood that starts when a child is 12 years old, and then when they're 18, if they're worthy, they become an elder, and then on up from there. And of course, Romney is a high priest in the Mormon Church.
Mm. So, do you think he went in at the 12?
No, the 12 are apostles. That's a higher echelon.
I meant his age. Do you think he went in at 12?
Oh, I'm sure he did, because he's a lifelong Mormon. He was born in the church, so I'm sure typically when a young boy, really they're just boys, at the age of 12 they become a deacon, and then they become a teacher, and then they become a priest, like at the age of 16. So that's just bizarre. I mean, that there's 16-year-old boys running around that I'm a priest, But anyway.
Right.
Sorry. Brother Alexa, do you have any more questions? I'd like to maybe two more for Mr. Snowblatt to depart.
How about one more question, or is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead, ask, and I'm going to bring in the next call at the same time, okay?
Yes, sir. Bill, you had mentioned earlier about how the different ways that they come against us and that their plans are pretty much into place. And I was just wondering, besides, accepting Christ, how do we fight back to
well,
protect
the best way to
ourselves?
fight back is on your knees. I mean, months ago I was exhorting people that follow our ministry to pray and to fast for this nation, for the world, because the whole world's in deep doo-doo. I mean, it's not just America, because the economies almost all over the world, except, of course, China, are suffering. We just posted, in fact, a new article on our website that people can download on fasting and how effective it is as a weapon in your spiritual arsenal. But, above all else, we really need to cry out against these things before heaven. We need to, cast down, the strongholds that the evil one is trying to erect. And, and the only way you can do that is through prayer. You can't fight the evil one with guns. You can only fight him with prayer and fasting and spiritual warfare in the heavenlies. So that's what I exhort people to do. If believers spend half as much time in prayer as they did on Facebook and watching TV or surfing the internet, I think America would be in a lot better shape.
Okay. All right, Brother Lexel, that answers your question, which brings me to my next caller. But before the caller comes in...
Okay, this will be the last one, okay? Because I really have to get going.
Okay, Mr. Shlomo, will you be able to come back on the show, say, next week for half an hour?
Let's call me during another time, and I'll look at my schedule, and we'll set something up, because I know I kind of, was not able to get in here at a scheduled time. So, yeah, we'll certainly do that.
Okay, no problem. Okay, we'll set up a week after next, but with that, I'll take my final caller in. We have like a bar from New York.
Hey, shalom, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for taking my call. I was listening. I'm enjoying the show, and I was hearing you discussing and talking in regards to the lost tribe of Israel, where Elder Gocc. We are Christians, and that we all understand that's the most important point, the starting point. As we're first have to be Christ before we are Jew, no Gentile, or who is a Jew, who is a Gentile. But from this perspective, when we read the scripture, there is an importance of in regards of in the eyes of the Lord to who are the children of Israel, who are or they're still going to play a pivotal role in end time prophecy. And I think, and I'm just going to be blunt here because, the Gathering Christ Church, we believe that the people of color in the Americas and throughout Africa and North and Central America are part of the lost tribe, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And I have many Jewish friends, and I talk to them, and we sometimes agree or agree to disagree.
Okay, could I interrupt you, sir?
Sure.
You kind of broke up a couple times there. I didn't really understand all of what you were saying.
Which part you heard so far? Well, let me just, start again.
Okay, let me just say this. If you're saying that some Israelites are from Africa, and that they were enslaved, coming over here.
Let me finish my sentence. I believe there has to be a discussion between Jews and Gentiles, or people claiming to be Jews, or believed to be Jews, since there is 12 tribes of Israel, and we all understand that the ancient Israelites it was prophesied they will be scattered into the four corners of the world.
Absolutely.
I think there has to be a dialogue among Christians, and we have to bring all ideas and all evidence, into the table and discuss them without getting offended, things of that nature.
I would certainly agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will hopefully you do come back and look into this evidence, because Israel were scattered into the four corners of the earth, and we believe that for the most part, because Christianity has been dominated since Constantine, as you mentioned, by Europeans, and from a European perspective, there always has been a attention to the Jews that scatter into Europe versus the Jews, for instance, who scatter into Africa.
Totally agree.
Like the Lemba tribe, you mentioned the Jews in Ethiopia, and there's many tribes that like the Limbu. The word Limbu is Swahili for Hebrew, and there's a good book I suggest you should also look into called Hebrewism in Africa.
Yeah.
And so I think as Christians we have to have that type of dialect without getting offended and understand there is 12 tribes of Israel and we were scattered.
I think we are in agreement there, sir.
Okay.
But I do have to get going right now.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll get back on soon.
Thank you and God bless.
All right. Bless you too. Bye-bye.
Okay, Mr. Schnober, thank you for coming on again. And hopefully we'll have you back on to continue with the call. Okay. All right. Let's take a break for a minute. I'm sure that was a lot to take in for everyone, and we'll pick it back up on the other side of this. All right. Okay. Wow.
Do you have a talent, a company, or a service to render? Would you like an avenue to get the word out? Well, GOCC Blog Talk Radio would like to connect with you to help fulfill your vision. Don't have a clear direction on where to go? It's okay. GOCC Blog Talk Radio can assist you with making your very own commercial. Call us now at 1-888-334-3330 and be on your way to the expansion of your business. That's 1-888-334-3330. GOCC Blog Talk Radio Station, starting the foundations for the building blocks of life. GOCC members after special rates.
Did you know that there's a long list of chemicals found in personal care products? A vast majority of personal care products on the market today have not been tested by any publicly accountable organization. This lack of regulation has led to companies using chemicals that have been linked to or strongly suspected to cause cancer, hormone imbalance, infertility, birth defects, learning disabilities, immune system toxicity, organ damage, asthma, and skin irritations. You can now have natural and organic products free of chemicals. Most of these products are made in Africa. We have black soap, shea butter, lotions, herbal tea and juices, fluoride-free toothpaste and oils. Visit us at www.futureroyalty1.net, www.futureroyalty1.net. For international shipping rates, email info@futureroyalty1.net.